Happy Saturday. 2 minutes in the box with Gordo, the daily grind of news, rumors, and updates. Today, we like to congratulate Alex Ovechkin, tying Wayne Gretzky for most goals of all time, previewing today's games, standings updates, latest news and rumors around the league. And here we go. Let's talk about last night, shall we? The Detroit Red Wings upsetting the Carolina Hurricanes 5-3. Patrick Kane broke one of Mike Modano's records. Another 20 goal season, most 20 goal seasons by an American born player in NHL history. And, the Red Wings, their odds, they're still in it somewhat. I got to say, Lucas Raymond, this dude is a bona fide superstar. You know, he's going to be ending up with like 50 something assists for this season. And, this Red Wing team, it sucks that they're not going to be in the playoff chase, but hopefully they can spend money during this offseason. And meanwhile, Carolina Hurricanes, a shocking, disappointing loss, but what do I know? I mean, they're second place in the Metro, and everybody knows who they're going to be playing against in the first round. And meanwhile, history made last night with the Washington Capitals and Chicago Blackhawks. Alex Ovechkin tying Wayne Gretzky 894. They're both tied. And Ovi had the option of scoring the empty netter, but that's classless and tasteless. I was right. Ovi knows that's no honorable way of breaking someone's record with an empty netter. That was a smart thing to do. Don't shoot the puck at the empty net to break the great one's record. That would have been a buzzkill and a big letdown for all hockey fans. All hockey fans want to see is a goal in the net, and like Ovi scored two great goals last night, both in the office spots, opposite face-off dots. And I would love to see Ovi rip one through the net, pop the water bottle, and break a pane of glass. That's the way to celebrate 895. And Ovi's playing against the New York Islanders tomorrow, and those ticket prices are insane. I mean, we're talking like 1,200, 1,500, maybe 2,000 for single game tickets to watch an historic event. I don't think Alex Ovechkin is going to break the Great Ones record in Long Island. I'm predicting that this record will be broken at home at the next home game, which is going to be on the 10th of April. And I would love to see it at a home game. Gretzky broke Gordie Howe's goal record in LA at home against Vancouver. And let's just say that, Ovi is definitely, you know, one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. And I got to tell you, another one, Ryan Leonard, Boston College rookie from University of Boston College, scored his first goal in the NHL, empty netter. Congratulations to the Boston College Golden Eagle. And it was a good game. And Ovi, I'm predicting he will break the record on Thursday, not Sunday, Thursday. And the last game follow up is the Minnesota Wild New York Islanders. Minnesota Wild, they're struggling. They are under 500 since Kirill Kaprizov has been out of the lineup. And in good news, he's coming back. He's definitely coming back. And what a firepower tonight for this young Islanders team. Zizar Casas getting a goal. Simon Holmstrom and Noah Dobson getting the other two. And they're somewhat still alive in this chase, but I gotta tell you, I don't think Anthony Duclair, Duclair, Patrick Waugh, I mean, Waugh coached him in the Quebec Ramparts in the Quebec Major Junior League, but I just don't think he's going to stay. But, I've been hearing talks that Lou Lamoriello is staying one more year, but I just think that the Islanders are going to be in a major rebuild. They're going to be in a major, major league rebuild. If there's a lockout, they're cleaning house. It's going to be a long rebuild for this New York Islanders team. It is not pretty. So, Let's talk about today's game, shall we? All right, we've got 12:30. We got the Rangers against the Devils. Panthers Sens at 2 o'clock. Then you've got a lot of matinee games here today. Pittsburgh Penguins, Dallas Stars, Ducks Canucks, Oilers Kings. That's a first round preview matchup. Hurricanes Bruins, Lightning Sabres, Blue Jackets Maple Leafs, Flyers Canadians, Avalanche Blues, Jets Utah Hockey Club, Vegas Golden Knights, Calgary Flames, Kraken against Sharks. And I'm going to say this, these 13 games right here, a lot is riding on this, all right? A lot of games are riding here. You know, Florida wants to keep chasing that Toronto Maple Leafs in the Atlantic Division. And Dallas wants to keep chasing the Winnipeg Jets in the Central Division. And the Oilers are chasing the Kings for second spot in the Pacific Division. And in the Lightning as well, they're trying to chase the Maple Leafs as well. And the Maple Leafs are trying to get momentum to keep the lead in the Atlantic Division. Blue Jackets are trying to stay alive. Montreal, they want to get that second wild card spot. The Blues, they are unstoppable with the Jubu bobblehead from Major League and Gloria from Laura Branigan. I mean, Hits is going to be, 17-2-2 for the Blues. Since the Four Nations, the Blues could be making a sequel. Gloria, Laura Branigan, and Jubu, the Major League bobblehead. And then the Winnipeg Jets, they are trying to keep the lead in the Central Division away from the Stars and the Avalanche. And Utah Hockey Club, they're trying to stay alive in the Central Division and in the wild card chase. Vegas Golden Knights, they're trying to maintain the lead in the Pacific Division. Calgary, they got a lot of fight in them left, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a little too late. And the Kraken and the Sharks, two underwhelming teams. Let's just put it this way. It's been very underwhelming for the Kraken. And like I said before, I believe next season will be the thing we'll be looking at. Oh, yeah, they're going to be rebuilding. And let's see what the front office does. All right, now let's talk about the standings. Maple Leafs, first place in the Atlantic Division with 96. The Tampa Bay Lightning, 93, second place in the Atlantic. Third place, Florida Panthers with 92 in the Atlantic Division. Meanwhile, in the Metropolitan, two clinched already with the Capitals and Hurricanes. Capitals 107, 96 Hurricanes, 87 for the Devils. And the Senators, 86 points, and the Montreal Canadiens with 81. Meanwhile, we got some stragglers along the way. We've got the New York Rangers with 79, two behind the Rangers. 77 for the Blue Jackets, are four behind, along with the Detroit Red Wings, and the New York Islanders, 5 points behind. They're straggling behind in the wild card chase. And then we've got all Central Division teams have clinched. Winnipeg Jets first place with 108. The Dallas Stars with 104. Dallas Stars are four behind the Winnipeg Jets. The Colorado Avalanche are third, 98. They are 10 behind Winnipeg, and they are six behind Dallas. And then you got in the Pacific Division, Vegas Golden Knights clinched, 98 points. LA Kings, 95 points. They are three behind Vegas Golden Knights, and the Edmonton Oilers are 93. They are two behind LA and five behind Vegas for the top Pacific spot. And the St. Louis Blues, top wild card, 91 points. And they are 7 points behind the Colorado Avalanche and the Minnesota Wild with the final wild card spot with 89. And the Calgary Flames with 84. They are five behind Minnesota and Vancouver with 81. They are 8 points behind the Minnesota Wild, and 9 points behind is Utah Hockey Club. And everybody else, they are missing out on playoffs, and everybody's going golfing in Mexico or somewhere. Oh, yeah. So I want to congratulate Alex Ovechkin again, tying Wayne Gretzky's all-time most goals in the NHL history, 894. Pretty damn impressive. I hope this goal record is not broken tomorrow. I would love to see this goal to be broken on Thursday against the Carolina Hurricanes at 7:30 at the Verizon Center where the Washington Capitals play. Yeah, I would love to see this happen. Capital One Arena. I'm still living a nostalgic route. So Capital One Arena, I would love to see Ovechkin break it at home ice, not on the road. And the other rumors of the day, let's talk about the rumors. And we've got some Vancouver Canuck talk, and they're talking about Rick Tocchet. And and also he's got a 1 year option, and the Philadelphia Flyers are looking for a former Flyer to take the reins. But I just think that it will be somewhat fitting, but Vancouver's been a weird team. They have been a very weird team, for the last few years. And then Elias Pettersson, I just think that money doesn't buy happiness. Money doesn't buy happiness with a player. I really think they should trade him to get something in return. But I mean, 11.6 million. A few seasons ago, he scored like 103, 104 points, but he hasn't been the same player. Money can do that to any player in the NHL. You know, there's some off ice distractions that come along with it. And then you've got right here is that the Boston Bruins, they are looking at the Washington Capitals for guidance because the Capitals last year, they barely made the playoffs. The Bruins, they are last place in the Eastern Conference. The Bruins are thinking about doing a retool like the Capitals did, and they want to get back into the playoff swing of things. And I'll tell you, the Bruins got some interesting pieces. They've got, Pasternak, they've got Swayman and McAvoy. I really think that they can build around those three. And I wouldn't be surprised that the Boston Bruins are back in the playoff mix next season. I wouldn't be surprised. They've got $29 million in cap space, and they are definitely going to be some heavy swingers. They are definitely going to be some heavy swingers for the, off season. And yeah, and I'll tell you another team that's going to be on a spending spree, the Detroit Red Wings, though. And as I said before, they have a lot to take care of. And I just think the Red Wings got a lot to do. They've got to figure it out. I mean, Steve Yzerman's plan is not going according to plan. And Ken Holland and Chris Ilitch have definitely did this on purpose to make Yzerman look dumb. Steve Yzerman is one of the smartest hockey executives in the game, and Yzerman rebuilt the Lightning from the ground up after that debacle ownership of Ornkuls and Lindbergh. When Jeffrey Vinik came into the NHL and buying the Tampa Bay Lightning, he brought Steve Yzerman in there, and Yzerman fixed the mess. Oh yeah. And Leon Draisaitl, he's not playing tonight against who the Oilers playing against? Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. The Oilers are not playing tonight. Oh yeah, they are playing LA. They are playing LA. So Draisaitl re-injured again. So that's going to be a tough break for the Oilers, though. And looking at the numbers here, and looking at the injuries, Dylan Holloway's week to week, and Jamie Ben's undisclosed injury, and Nikolai Ehlers has got a lower body injury, so he's going to be playing tonight. And we like to congratulate Ryan Rafalski for the San Jose Sharks of being the bench boss head coach for Team USA at the World Championships this season. And top of that, so let's just say this, this is going to be a fun, exciting day of hockey. And also, last thing I like to mention to you guys, the last thing I would like to mention to you guys from what I've been hearing on some interesting NHL talk, let's put it this way. Looking at the numbers here and the updates. Ooh, let's see. Oh yeah. So there were reports behind the scenes that John Tortorella wanted to get fired. I don't blame him. I think his time in the NHL as an NHL coach is basically it's over. He's got a Stanley Cup. I believe he's a Hall of Famer. But, like the $1 million question is, was he really trying to get fired on purpose? I feel like he had enough. And I would not be surprised that he makes a triumphant return to ESPN or he goes to TNT. That's what I'm predicting where Torch is going to be ending up in the off season and the upcoming season. So, yeah. And Lane Hudson, he's been playing amazing. He's going to be a Rookie of the Year finalist. And there's projections that he might be getting $8 to $9 million on the open market. And if I were Montreal, get him a max deal and you got yourself a franchise defenseman. I mean, this guy has been unbelievable, and he has been one of the best defensemen for rookies in a long time. I mean, there's a class of those guys out there. And then you got John Tavares. John Tavares is looking for a new contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. It could be a 3 to 4 year deal worth around $6 to $7 million. And he's been terrific. He's gonna be a 40 goal scorer this year for the Leafs. He's been terrific, and I believe that he finally he belongs with Austin Matthews and William Nylander and Matthew Nyes and all. But let's just put it this way: Toronto has got a very good team around, and then we've got the talks yesterday. Remember, I was talking about about the offer sheets. Oh yeah, NHL execs are preparing for the best or the worst because I just get that feeling we're going to see a bidding war and it's going to get ugly. And hopefully that the NHL owners and the player association can figure something out in this current collective bargaining agreement. And speaking of collective bargaining agreement, they had some good talks, nothing high profile. There just been good talks, nothing to mention, no comments right now, but I believe that so far the negotiations are going according to plan on both ends and both parties. And the Blackhawks, though, are offering a 3 year, $4 million average salary to Ryan Donato, who's been having a career year. And, his former team, the Boston Bruins, could be looking for him, but I could see him either staying in Chicago or going to Boston. That's where I see it. And like I mentioned, and then Lou Lamoriello, I mentioned this that he will stay as GM of the New York Islanders for 1 more year, and the Islanders ownership is committed to Lou and his management team. And something tells me I think Lou will be retiring at the end of next season from GM and hockey exec and sports executive. And he is definitely one of the greats who turned around the New Jersey Devils, have helped the Maple Leafs to respectability, and helped the Islanders to 2 consecutive conference finals, which both of them should have been Stanley Cup victories, by the way. And we mentioned about the Bruins retooling and the Boston Bruins, though. I could see them literally getting a new coach. I think Sacco is a finalist. I think Tortorella could be in there. I really think Gerard Gallant could be in the mix as well. There's some good candidates. There are some very good candidates for the Boston Bruins. But after what happened to Jim Montgomery for the new contract extension, I mean, coaches are very hesitant to go over there because the Bruins are going to play cheapskate with their coaches, and it really haunted them because look at Jim Montgomery's doing right now with the St. Louis Blues. They are in the playoffs, and the Bruins, they are deep, deep down in the Atlantic looking for the Yellow Submarine. Yeah, that's been 2 minutes in the box with Gordo. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Instagram, TikTok, etc. This has been 2 minutes in the box with Gordo. Have a great Saturday. We'll be back here tomorrow to recap the NHL on Saturday. Remember, this is the daily grind of news, rumors, and updates. 2 minutes in the box with Gordo.